let me talk about a few messages that came out for you for this month. I feel like it's very heavily loaded when it concerns your finances and, the vision of yourself. Like, what will you do to make finances a lot more stable? Do we need to make some compromises? Do we need to kind of like reposition ourselves to negotiate, or even to kind of do like a 180 turnaround when it comes to what we're doing to make money? So I'm feeling for some of you, there's this element here about you guys are incredibly, incredibly hardworking. But for whatever reason, money just seems to constantly slip through your fingers. It's almost like, where did the money go? I set it aside, and where did it go? What happened to it? So I see you asking yourself these questions. Is there enough? And it's the end of the year. What do I have to show for myself? Where did everything go? I thought it was going to be here. And so I'm sensing as well, it creates this sense of anxiety. It creates this sense of anxiety because I feel like about 3 years ago, you were in a good space. You were starting to rebuild your financial foundation. You were starting from scratch and you were building things up, and gradually things were okay. And now this period, this kind of like a dip in your financial status, it harkens back to that time where you had a lot of anxieties about finances, where you had a lot of anxieties about, is this project going to work out well? Am I going to get the financiers? Am I going to get the funding? Am I going to be okay? And so it's like a recycled energy. It's a recycled thought process that's coming in for this month to think about how you're making money, whether or not that's a viable solution, whether or not it's sustainable, or whether or not you need to change direction, okay? And this is not about, settling, doing something else because it's more financially stable. This is about taking a little bit of a detour to work from the ground up to build up your financial resources. And then when that is secure and safe, then you definitely can change gears. And then you definitely can get back on track to what you really feel passionate about doing and how you want to spend the rest of your life, what career, what job, where you can build that that financial future for yourself. So I do feel there's a little bit of an energy here about needing to compromise, needing to change direction, needing as well to really think about, is this sustainable? Is this going to be viable for me long term? Or is it fun and exciting and, it embodies the creative energies that I want to work at, but it's not financially a safe or a stable choice of a career. So that's what I'm feeling here. And, you don't like to compromise. You don't like to settle for less. And for many of you, when you do something, you do it really well. You're almost like a Virgo in person, where if you have a skill that you want to bring into the world, you've exercised, honed in, and have already perfected that skill set. So you feel that, okay, I've spent all these years honing in on it and learning from it and gathering, all this expertise under my belt. Why isn't the world receptive to it? Why am I not be able to exercise and make money from this one creative venture that I'm very, very, very good at? And so you feel almost like somebody up there is shortchanging me. And you feel like you're stubbornly going to work at it because, once again, like the Virgo in reading that I did, you believe in this sense of karmic justice. If I work really hard, I will be rewarded. If I spend all these years doing this creative project and perfecting it and honing my skills, then of course it's going to come to fruition. Of course people will want to finance it. Of course I will get, the positive accolades and reception when it is published or when it is brought into the world. And then even some of you are doing it because it's purely a humanitarian effort where it can really help a lot of people. And you're just like, I have noble intentions in mind. If I have noble intentions and I bring it forth into the world, then of course it's going to be financially lucrative as well, because it has, it's created from good intentions. So you might be a little bit frustrated because the money that you're hoping for is not coming in. The promise of wealth and prosperity is not coming in. But more than anything, I feel like it's almost like existing finances are constantly slipping through your fingers. It's hard to retain. And so coming into this month, don't beat yourself up over things. Things, contracts, new decisions, waiting on decisions for other people, from other people. It is going to take a little bit longer to come to fruition. And I also feel as well, some of you are rethinking, redesigning how you're making money, coming up with new strategies, and you're going to start to implement them, especially, moving in for the next 3 months. Okay, so aftracts are going to be coming into the picture. And so don't beat yourself over it. This period of time will pass. It's kind of like a test to make sure that you're on the right track, to make sure that you're absolutely clear about how you want to move forward and what avenues and what career and what jobs you want to move forward with. And so let me go into this reading for this month. First of all, I'm getting a very creative energy with this card. And this is somebody who is a writer, somebody who is a therapist, somebody who is constantly, aiding, helping other people. Someone who's really loving, very caring, very nurturing. So I feel some of you are writers in the creative industry, like painters, photographers, food bloggers, travelers. I'm also sensing like acting, voice acting, and script writers. And then on the other end, I feel like it's a little bit less creative, but it's still considered like, more spiritual, more humanitarian types of work. Aid worker, social worker, therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist. And I'm also feeling as well people that might do freelance consultation. And this is something that you've been, honing your skills on. It's something that you really, really love doing. You can do it for the rest of your life. You don't feel drained. You don't feel depleted. But this is the month where you feel like the compensation that you're getting from this creative venture is not enough. It's the month where you feel that I'm going to have to let this go because projects are not coming in. I'm not in high demand. And so it, once again, takes us back to this period of time 3 years ago when we encounter the same issue, where we have creative blockages, where we have a lot of self-doubt, where there are a lot of worries and anxieties coming in terms of, is this viable? Is this sustainable in the future? I'm also feeling as well, for many of you, you're looking for that breakthrough opportunity. You're looking for, somebody to pick up your script. You're looking for somebody to catch you on screen. You're looking for a financier. You're looking for somebody to fund your projects, and so you can get things off the ground. It also indicates to me as well a lot of creative blockages that are hindering your progress because there might be some financial worries. Okay, so they kind of go hand in hand. And if you can clear up these worries and anxiety through, meditation, through exercise, through some type of way to decompress and de-stress yourself, that's when you're going to be able to get back this creative flair. So if you are a creative type and you have some blockages, I feel like it's stress related, and I feel like it's heavily finance related. There will be opportunities coming into the picture for you guys, and I feel like from now until that 3-month pitch, there will be opportunities for you as well to demonstrate in front of an audience your skills in terms of like being able to show them. This is not just a thing that I'm creating on a whim. I've done extensive research. I've done extensive, coursework. I've really studied it from the ground up, and here are my findings. So you're unloading a lot of information on your audience. They're going to be able to follow along because I feel like you're dealing with very skilled people. People that you have to, wait a really long time to have an audience with. So it's not just people coming into the picture and they randomly invest in you. I feel like you've been waiting for these people to kind of like come your way, or to give you an opportunity to do a demonstration, or to give you an opportunity to show them in person what they know. There might have been like online, email communication back and forth describing the project, describing the work that you're doing. But I feel like the concrete actions are not taken just yet. And so this is the month where there is more waiting, where there is more internet-based type of communication, over the phone types of communication, but they're not 100% invested just yet to carve out time from their schedule to allow you to make that demonstration. But it's actually going to work in your favor. I know that it doesn't feel like that right now, because what you're dealing here with is financial instability, okay? Where's my next paycheck? When is that coming in? Do I have enough? Living from paycheck to paycheck. And I feel as well, whenever you are in a state where financially you're worried, it really chips away and corrodes your self-esteem. You might be thinking, I'm a grown man, I'm a grown woman, why am I still living paycheck to paycheck? Or you might be thinking, I'm a father, I have a full-time job, why am I still short every month? Why am I not able to save up? Why is it that every time, tax season rolls around, I get so anxious, I can't sleep at night? And so I feel like it really chips away at your pride. It really chips away at your self-confidence. It really chips away at your ability to, believe in yourself, that you can take care of yourself, that you are an adult, that you can, but I feel like the waiting will pay off 3 months down the line. Okay, so just to give you guys some, I guess, like appease, your anxieties and your worries, I do feel these contracts are going to come through. They're solid, they're valid. And I feel like it's not much consolation, because, you want it now. You've been waiting for it. And you're getting very, very nervous. You're getting anxious. Financially, you're also a little bit anxious. And I do feel like with this Mercury retrograde period, it's a time for you to revisit and redo something. And I feel like there are things that they want you to add on. There are things that other people want you to change, to tweak, to reinvent, to adjust. And so this time period is a readjustment process. And once you're done with that readjustment, I feel like the contract will be in the picture. So right now the contracts are talked about. But then I feel like it will be signed, the next 3 months. So please be very, very patient, okay? Don't pull out your hair. Don't beat yourself up over it. Don't worry. Things will get better. And I feel like, let's conclude this reading and move on to your love reading. But I'm feeling like you're not satisfied with that answer. And so my advice here is this readjustment process. It's allowing things to be better. It's allowing things to be just. It's allowing things to be evened out. And so despite the waiting, it's going to come to fruition. We have a de-escalation here. So things are getting closer and closer, okay? 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands. Things are getting closer and closer. And there will be a meet and greet. There will be a demonstration. There will be contract signed. And so if you're hoping to, get finance, if you're hoping to have a breakthrough, if you're hoping for people to really pay attention to the creative work that you're doing, I feel that you will encounter these blockages, especially the first 2 weeks of the month. And then it'll start to clear up. There will be clarity. There will be more information. But keeping yourself grounded, it's easier said than done during this entire process. I'm feeling that some of you, that's where the creative blockages are coming in, okay? So aim to, keep yourself very, very grounded. Know that you have all the skills under your belt, that you have a lot of potential, and that what is coming in is going to come to fruition. And don't obsess over it and check your email every minute, hoping for feedback, hoping for things to come in sooner. I just feel like you have to live through this experience to know how much is worth to you. Okay? The other thing that I want to bring up is I'm feeling there's a little bit of a compromise here that needs to happen. So if you absolutely have, have it in your mind that it's set up, I'm going to be a star, I'm going to be a writer, I'm going to be an actor, I'm going to move to the West Coast and, live my life and just have a breakthrough moment, be very, very famous, and then I'll have all the money in the world. And I honestly feel like these are not delusions. You have the skills and you're great at what you do. Scorpio people and Virgo people are very, very good at what they do. And I feel like innately, the two of you these two signs are quite shy. You and Virgos, you guys are not like boastful. You're quite shy. And so if you do something that you are not afraid to show the world, then you are going to make sure that you do it well. You're going to do it better than anybody else can do it. And so I feel like you have these dreams, and they're very, very big dreams, but I feel like you have the skills to back it up. However, the timing might not be on your side just yet. And so some of you are really reassessing. I'm not making the strides. I'm not making the I guess like I'm not given the opportunities. So right now, I feel some of you are thinking about foregoing it, changing direction altogether, seeking a stable 9-to-5 job, settling for a 9-to-5 job. And I feel that it really, really hurts you because you know that you're very good at what you do. And so settling into a mundane job is going to feel almost like it's crippling your soul because you don't have this creative expression, because it's a very mundane type of a job, but it provides financial security. So don't think of this as you settling forever and ever and never being able to achieve that fame and fortune. Think of it as a temporary detour. You need to do this first so that you can save up, so that you can be financially secure, so that you're not constantly stressed out. And while you're doing that, while you're doing this, to get yourself back on your feet, to start to build your empires, to start to build that foundation, that's when you can kind of dabble in the creative industry. And that's when you can still freelance. That's when you can still do things on the side. And the stability of this main job is going to allow you to clear up these financial worries, which are really blocking your creative energies. It's also going to help you overcome as well. If you don't like to work with a certain person, you can say no. You can turn them down without feeling like you're hurting for their money. So I feel like it puts you in a place of empowerment more than anything. When you can say yes, that's when things are really going to be clear for you as to what you need to do. So I feel like many of you have these creative ideas that you want to bring forth into the world, and they're great ideas. And I also feel like, that once again, where is this justice? Why aren't things going the way that I want? Do I need to compromise here? Do I need to redesign or redo my business plan? Redoing your business plan, I feel, is necessary. And don't think of it as something permanent. Think of it as, I need to adopt to, I was thinking adopt a new game plan or adapt to this moment in time. And then later on, when things are different financially, then I can adapt to the new changes. And maybe I can even revert back to, a little bit more freelance work or doing what really makes my heart and soul sing. So Scorpio, don't think of it as a permanent thing. I feel like this is the month where it's forcing you to be a little bit more mutable, to be a little bit more adaptable, a little bit more changeable, and not so fixed in your creative expressions, okay? Wanting to make something a main source of income. But I feel like it's a very, very niche type of a environment, and so the clients might not be coming in the volume that you're hoping for. So I feel like the demand is not high for something. And I know that you're really good at what you do, and you believe wholeheartedly in what you do. And what you do contributes to humanity, contributes to, it's valuable. It has its contribution, it has its place in the world. But I just feel like the timing is not right now, because you have to adapt to this moment in time and then go back to it when things change, okay? And I would say 3 months down the line, you might be in a different environment. I'm also feeling as well, one last thing here, I'm sensing that many of you are a little bit tired of your job, okay? This is like burnt out, not feeling inspired anymore. And this is like a spiritual kind of like reawakening. Am I really happy at my job? Am I okay here? Am I secure? Do I really want to stay here for another 5 years? Do I want to retire here? So some of you could, I feel like, lack of inspiration in the job. I don't feel like you get burnt out easily, but I feel like lack of inspiration, not having a creative outlet. And I'm also feeling some people might have left the work environment. So this is like somebody who's scoping out, I want to relocate, I want to retire. You have another person kind of slinking away, leaving in a very quiet fashion. And then you have other people waiting for other jobs to come in for them. So you have 3 characters here that are possibly leaving the picture. And what happens is you find yourself kind of like looking around after they have left. And another thing too, Scorpios, a danger of being a fixed sign is we stay in a situation for way too long. And I feel like that's why you fear this, because I'm telling you it's going to be temporary. But you feel like once you slip yourself into this, you might get comfortable. And you know yourself, you might get comfortable. You might be so wrapped up in that, secure, familiar state that you don't leave. And so that's why you're afraid to get into it, because you don't want to make it into a new habit. And then it becomes your new reality, and you find yourself having to give up this dream. But anyways, going back to what I was saying, I feel like some people are leaving your work environment. And so you find yourself kind of like caught unawares, like what's going on? Where did everyone go? And what it does is that the work might pile on and you're stressed out, and there will be new people coming into the picture to lighten the load for you. So I don't feel that you need to worry anyways. And I also feel as well, you're also actually a very, very good time. There will be new contracts, new work coming in, new things signed and finalized, okay? Don't fret. It will be okay. I just feel like, the whole concept of money slipping through your fingers. There are ways for us to curb our expenditures. There are always ways, okay? We have to cut corners here. So for those of you who are very bad money managers, you really have to sit down and go through the books, okay? Peruse your ledger, look through all of your bills, and figure out where that financial drain is coming from. Because I feel like you know where it's coming from, but you're refusing to face it, okay? For others of you, I feel like it's just it's like carelessness when it comes to money. And I honestly feel like when you're happy and joyful and just elated with where you are working, with your relationships, with your household, with your family relationships, that's when you're really on top of the financial game. It's when you're really stressed out and multiple things are hitting you at once, and you have multiple projects that you're working on, and you have multiple directions in which you are pulled. That's when you're very, very lax when it comes to financial, like the whole bookkeeping aspect of it. And that's when it gets away from you. So I honestly feel like you know where the financial drain is, but you might not be ready to look at it and to call it what it is. Because I feel like for some of you, the financial drain might be coming in from another person. And for others, I feel like you are not ready yet to look at it. So I feel like this is a kind of like a financial leakage that you can plug up, but you're not ready to face it yet. So until you're ready to do that, switching jobs, you know, giving up this dream to pursue something else that might not make you happy. I feel like those are band-aid fixes. They're not getting to the root of the problem. The root of the problem here is there is a financial drain that you need to really be honest with yourself about, look at, and find a solution for it, okay? And I feel like it's linked up with another person. So, Scorpios, take care. I hope the reading is helpful. I hope the messages are not harsh. And, just take care of yourself, okay? Get enough sleep. And, you know, really family. And, you know, just take better care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.